Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Bird 91. We're talking to you about Kanye and the DL Hughley situation. Yes, we've seen the comedian come out strong and give Kanye a little bit of his own medicine his way in a comedic fashion. And we're going to talk a little bit about his spat with the comedian and kind of break down as well a little bit about Christian mental health as well, and dealing with the situation in terms of who should be holding Kanye accountable, because I believe it's getting to a stage now where we really have to ask the question, Kanye, what is going on? Who's holding you accountable? Because the movement is mad. Now, listen, I'm all for every man doing what they need to do for themselves. A man that is, a king of his own domain. But when it gets to the point when you're actually, and I love the way that DL Hughley put it, stalking your wife. Bro, there's nothing. I can't get around that, bro. I can't just ignore that. We can't ignore that. You know what I mean? Like, and we have to be very honest with ourselves. We've given Kanye oblige because he's famous, Christian, black, rich. Brother, it's like a lot of different components going on as to why we're ignoring the fact that this behavior is unacceptable. This behavior is disgusting. And actually, in all essence, I totally understand. There are enemies after me. I get it, but we're not going to be we're not going to be able to allow this behavior to keep on going the way it's going as well, especially when it's so public as well. So, if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notifications of the uploads. For those of you who are returnees, when you know what it is, baby, you got the minerals, you got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there, they are very, very hot. Do me a massive favor though, okay? Massive favor. Vote for me on Influence TV. Is a competition that I'm involved in. This is where we get to, I guess, discuss, show you guys what level of influence we have, and the kind of great work that we do as well. So we'll be on a competition, we'll be on TV if we get through to the next stage. So please leave the links down below in the description box. Vote for me on both links, and hopefully you might see me on your big screen very, very soon. If not, it doesn't matter. We're going to continue doing what we do best. All right, let's get into this particular video and let's talk a little bit about Kanye and talk about DL Hughley, the situation between the two gentlemen as well. Let's go into what he kind of said as to why it triggered Kanye to respond the way that he did. Let's have a little listen to this.
The difference between him and the other dude that get restraining orders on them is hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right, because he bought a house across the street
That's not
from her house.
Listen, I think that I've watched too many times where things like that happen and a woman or somebody's not believed, and then things escalate.
Yeah.
He is stalking her. You could think it's cute. If it was my daughter, I'd do something about it. I don't think it's funny. I think that you can't write a beat so good that you get to do these things. The difference between him and the other dude get restrained.
So as he said very, very clearly, if it was him, he would do something about it. Why? Because his daughter would be under duress from this gentleman, Kanye, who consistently puts out posts on Instagram of him crying, him moaning, him stressing, him saying how he feels about Kim's decisions with their daughter, Northwest. Listen, I'm totally for it. And we're going to do another video as well, because we're going to deal with some other things that he brought out. I want to deal specifically with that. But, there's got to be a limit here, right? I get it. You don't agree with everything she's doing, but there has to be a limit to how much information you're willing to share with the audience and willing to share with the public eye. And at what point do we start to consider it manipulative when you decide to release this type of information to get us to sway our opinion and our thoughts towards Kim and Northwest? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't women out there in this world who will intentionally stop you from seeing your kids, intentionally try to frame you, intentionally try to make you the bad guy in the story and make you a villain. But I don't think this is the case in this situation. I think there's something else at foot here. I think if we really be honest with ourselves, when we look at Kanye, as DL said, it is only because he has money, power, and status. And in fact, we've seen the same thing with Prince Andrew, the royal in UK, who decided to, pretty much sleep with young girls underage. Okay, and because he's of royal status, they swept it underneath the rug, paid the girl off, and then off it goes. So power, deriving from riches and wealth, can enable someone to vacate the law. I mean, it gets someone to be able to say the law doesn't exist to me. And in fact, the Bible actually talks about this. It talks about how that those who are rich are the ones that even lord it over you. They're the ones that even are the ones doing the madness, and they will use their riches almost in a sense against you, their power against you, right? They're the ones that will throw you into jail. And so we see right here how power and riches have now brought Kanye to a point where he can get away with certain behavior, where he even puts a video on our YouTube screens of him talking about the current partner with their head chopped off and head buried in the ground. I'm so sorry. That's just that. There is no excuse in that. It has to be called out, and DL did the right thing by calling it out. Let's have a little look at something that he said, because he they put up some, it actually, Kanye West obviously shot back and said some things. Let's have a little look at what he was saying here. What he was saying in this particular thing. So Kanye says, we gonna stop letting practicing drug addicts be used by leftists to Willie Lynch. Our future black people with our own opinion are not allowed to speak in public. I am the glitch. DL, God does not like you. Okay, let's just stop it here. First and foremost, we're gonna stop letting practicing drug addicts be used by leftists to Willie Lynch our future. Now, someone said that Kanye don't like punctuation. First and foremost, obviously we understand with Willie Lynch what he represented to the slave trade and the slave history and black people in general. Whether you believe it's true or not, it doesn't make a difference. It's what his ethos and what he preached. The back-breaking tactics and longevity of trying to break the slave's mind is what he's saying that D.L. Hughley is using here. He is a part of the problem, a part of the system. What? Because he called you out? See, I'm so confused. Like, what? Because he called you out? Now, don't get it twisted. Maybe he is. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, when he called you out, it was correct to call you out. Address the calling out. That's number one. Okay, let's read on. Black people with our own opinion are not allowed to speak in public. I am the glitch. DL, God does not like you. Since when does God not like DL? We don't use those terms here, right? Like, look, the Bible says God loves all people. He loves us all. Now, does he want you to come to Christ? That's a completely different conversation. Does he love his children? Yes, he does. Right? So much so that he sent his son to die for them. So this is not even gospel, bro. This is inappropriate. You to say that God does not like him is not even gospel, bro. I don't like that. Okay, John 3:16 is for everybody. Anybody that will listen to the message. Okay, now that doesn't mean that hell don't exist, baby. I'm just saying, but still at the same time, so long as you living and breathing, listen, you got a chance to turn your life around. God loves everybody. That simple. Okay. He says, I am the, he says, you have no favor. Your family hates you. I would hate to be related to somebody who used to be famous. Now you're just known as a broke pawn. At least Oprah got billions, allegedly. Come on, leftists. You got to do better than DL. Now, here's my thing. Okay, so is it politics? Is it, is it politics? Is it news? Is it what we're doing here? We're addressing the actual issue, and what we're seeing is certain tangents happening here, okay, to try and get at our brother. The true nature of the situation is you were called out. Why are we now insulting this brother the way that we are? Why are we now coming at him the way we are? Because of the way that we feel. And this is my problem with Kanye at the moment. This is not going to get your daughters back. It's not going to get your daughters to come towards you. It's not going to make your daughters want to love you. It's not going to make your daughters want to care about you even more. I get it. Stay hydrated, by the way. I get it. I totally understand. I may not be able to fully grasp what you're going through, but I can definitely understand where you're coming from, at least in terms of mindset. But I'll have to be honest once again. Why is DL taking the fall for your anger and your frustration that you feel towards the situation? All right, cool. This is Ye. Bring the real smoke, baby. Show your real face. Charlemagne, just don't hit the same doohie. Who y'all gonna get now? God is with us, and you send DL to be against us. Okay, look, first and foremost, when David had committed the sin of sleeping with Bathsheba and then killing her husband, when Nathan came to David, David didn't say, well, Satan has sent a prophet here to come and make sure that he trying to tamper with my blessing, my favor here, and my madness I'm committing. He said, listen, I'm submitting to you. You're absolutely right. When the prophet used the wisdom that he spoke, the David yielded. He realized it was about him and he went and repented. Now, here's the thing. Saying that it's someone that's not of God or God is with us is using religious typo and religious kind of framework to try and dissuade whatever person's saying and making it a moral war. This is not a moral war, Kanye. This is a custody battle which you're fighting for. This is you wanting to see your kids. This is you want to spend time with kids. This is you want to send your kids to a certain place. This is you getting your kids off TikTok. This ain't a godly war. This ain't a moral war either. Now, of course, every believer has their walk and their trials and tribulations, but sir, this one is of your own making. Right? It's of your own making. Okay. He said, obviously, no, you've lost. No brilliant Hebrews will bow to you no more. Only dumbass, drug addict, house niggas don't play me and don't play with God. Anybody related to DL call Chris McLean at Adidas for Yeezys. They're not free though. We're running a business over here. He's just getting ran. You see Skeet missing work. Anybody else want to play with me? Please, 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 for love of God, come and get me. Let's see how this turns out. Now, listen. Again, I want to say that Kanye, you're absolutely entitled to how you feel. But we talked about this previously about emotional regulation, about understanding, processing, and expressing. And a man who's mature in emotional intelligence learns how to understand his emotions, process the emotions, and then express them in an appropriate manner that one fits the social narrative. Okay, that fits the social norms. Now, of course, again within reason, right? But again, it's about fitting the social narrative. And at the moment, Kanye is sticking out like a sore thumb. The way he's expressing his emotions are not going to be positive. The way he's expressing his feelings are not helping the situation. The way he's expressing his emotions are not getting us to where he wants to get to. There is a need for a change. There is a need for a change from Kanye. Let's just have a look at what else was said. I think he was looking there.
The difference between him.
Okay, so I think we'll get on to. There was another part I wanted to show you guys, which was Kanye just talking. I know DL kind of hit back and said his piece. And it's just like, again, bro, like you Kanye, I just need you to chill. That's why I need Kanye to chill. Okay, DL Hughley said, "Ain't no way in hell I'd ever be scared of a dude who wears I know what you did last summer boots." I'm just gonna find it funny, but I get it. Ain't it weird that Kanye supposedly has all these goons who will kill for him, but none of them will get his prescriptions filled. Here's a thought while you're on the way to kill me in Calabas, is how about somebody drop by CVS and pick up his Xanax? Now, of course, I'm not. I never want to make fun of someone's social mental health, and I want to address that in another video. But Christians, we got to get better at dealing with mental health. This is a mental health issue. The way that Kanye is expressing himself, no one can tell me that this is normal. This is not normal. It's not normal the way he's going about it and creating enemies. The creating of enemies is a part of the mental health, I believe. Right? So yes, I get it. He actually does have enemies. Yes, there are people who are trying to kill him into about Illuminati and all that. Yes, there are those people, but you're creating enemies amongst people right now. You're creating enemies right now. Instead of creating people who are going to be aside you. And a lot of men, even though they haven't got mental health issues, a lot of baby fathers do the exact same thing, create more enemies rather than alliances. You want to win, and you're not going to win trying to beat this girl. The mother of your kids, you're not going to beat her. You need to create alliances. If she's out here moving toxic and mad, you need to create alliances, not try to make more enemies. The more enemies you have, the quicker that you're going to die. It's just doesn't make no sense. Choose wisely. Build alliances. Use wisdom. So Kanye in the situation, and I want to say as well, you becoming a Christian does not erase all the things you've done in the past. What it does erase is your spiritual bank account, meaning that anything that was done previously that was not in alignment with God is now wiped. God has forgotten it no more. But here's the thing: there are consequences to actions, and they don't get erased, unfortunately. You chose someone like Kim Kardashian. She's not what you fit right now. That was a consequence. Now, it's unfortunate. That's the behavior. That's what's been done. It's been set in stone. It's been grinded out. We can't do anything about it. What we can do is right now, what is the next move? What's the next step? How do we go forward in an appropriate manner? That's the question we're asking. So, I'm gonna say, if you are looking for peace and not problems, and you need to be careful about the way you deal with certain situations. If you're looking for peace and not problems, there's a way to deal with it. But some of you are really looking for peace. Or you say you're looking for peace, and yet you create more problems.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
All right, guys. We appreciate you guys. Let us know your thoughts down below and what you think about DL Hughley and Kanye's situation.